We want to get back over to Chief Meteorologist Jay Prater now for the latest on our severe weather day. Jay.
All right, let's go live to Salina. Saline County has just been put under a tornado warning, and we're going to leave this shot up for quite a little while. We've got a lot of lightning, big lightning surge here, so we're looking towards the west-southwest. It's going to be hard to see. Keep that shot there, Cam. We're going to go back over to the radar. So this is your tornado warning, the outline right near Brookville. That's where we're concerned about. We got the hook, and as I go over and change some of the products here, let's switch over to the velocity mode first with the radar, and we'll show you why the National Weather Service has issued that tornado warning. So as long as we got the tornado warning, we're going to continue the coverage. Here we are over the past 30 minutes. This is the velocity mode of the radar. So your weather alarms are going off in Salina along with the tornado sirens. And had a report from a spotter that, said that they were, what they thought was a lowering, but admittedly, it's night. You got a lot of rain going on here, but based on that velocity signature, that's why they went in and issue that. I'm going to go over and take a look at the debris detection mode. We only got just a very faint little signal here, but we're going to go to it. This is row HV, and we put it in motion over the past 30 minutes, and it looked like briefly there may be a little lower, not a clear-cut signal saying that, okay, we have a tornado in progress. But based on the velocity data and based on a little bit of a signal, looks like you see near Brookville earlier, just before the last volume scan, it was there for basically one volume scan and then it was gone. So that's why the National Weather Service in Wichita said, let's go ahead and issue the tornado warning. This is purely based on radar at this time. Any other update, Cam? What have you got?
On this Salina, Cam, where would the tornado be, you would think? I've noticed something kind of towards the center.
Okay, well, let's go back over here.
So let's watch.
Let's go back live to Salina here. Let me walk out of the picture here. So, all right, so let's use the lightning flashes to kind of help us out. And if it's out there, maybe we can get it back illuminated. But the problem's going to be is what is going to be a potential for a tornado versus the rain. Because we got a big rain shaft. I mean, this thing is electrical. And if you live in Saline County in Salina, it's a good idea to go ahead and practice those tornado precautions. I know it's been a while since we've had this threat, but the tornado warning is until 11 o'clock for Saline County. And this is the storm that's heading into town. We had the hook echo on radar. We did have some velocity. And briefly, we did have, for one volume scan, there was a very, very low end kind of what might have been a debris signature. Sometimes when these things fingerprint, they're very definitive. It's not definitive in this case, but this is a very electrical thunderstorm. I know we got the yellow circle in the middle of the screen up. That's so we could move the camera around. So that's why we're in this mode right now. So you're just going to have to kind of ignore that. But we want to stay with this live picture. We're looking from Santa Fe Avenue. This is the roof of KSAL. So we're just to the north of 7th here along Santa Fe, looking back to the west-southwest at that thunderstorm that contains the tornado warning. So let me go back over to the Doppler radar again so you continue to check on any other storm reports with that, Cam. So let's go back to the tornado warning just to show you. There it is, the red box. It's until 11 o'clock for Ellsworth County and also Saline County. And that's the hook right near Brookville. It's going to track along 140 over to Salina. So it's not into Salina yet. And as far as the movement on this, let's see how fast this thing's been moving. So here we are now. Go back 30 minutes ago. You can see it was even off the screen here. So if you go all the way from Brookville, Overton, it would look like it's moving at about 30 miles per hour or so. What do you think, Cameron? What's the Weather Service saying? Is it saying about 30 on this one or 35 miles per hour? What's the speed that they're estimating on this movement of the storm?
Check right now.
All right, because if it's in there, it's going to be right around Brookville. It's moving at 30. So if it's moving, I'm going to say it's moving a little north of due east. This would put it, Riveria, within 10 minutes, and within 26 minutes, put it into Salina proper. So this is your heads up. This is the track that's heading towards you. This will all be hail between I-70 and down to the south. That's the tornado risk that we're continuing to watch. Let me switch over back to the velocity product off the radar, and let's get an update and see what's going on with the wind speeds inside the thunderstorm. So we're going to go over to Wichita. We're going to change over to base velocity. We're going to put it in motion for you over the past 30 minutes. And admittedly, don't really have a good, solid rotational signature. Let me kind of move the radar because I can look from the Wichita radar site, which we're doing now, and then kind of go switch over to, I'm going to switch over to the Topeka site and take a look at the radar data as it comes in from that angle. So let me switch over using the Topeka radar. Let's look at the base velocity off that. So there is where you see the area of circulation, but admittedly, we've seen better. This is kind of a really weak indication of rotation at the current time. Let's go back over and look at any kind of debris detection, the correlation coefficient off the radar at Topeka, and we'll see if that works over the past 30 minutes, because remember, it was only Wichita, we got like a little brief flash. Same thing here. Let's go to Brookville. Keep my finger right there. There. It looked like for about one volume scan, so I don't have a lot of confidence that there is a tornado in progress at the current time. Let's switch back over to the Wichita radar. We'll go over to the base reflectivity. Hail core, yes. As far as the tornado, not really sure about that. Let me turn this off and let's go back and look at the live camera once again. So what have you been seeing, Cameron? Look at the camera. You see anything besides that rain shaft out there? Can you tell what's going on?
Occasionally it looks like there might be a lowering or a wall cloud. I wouldn't call it a tornado though. And it really depends on the backlit lightning.
Okay, obviously this is very electrical. I'll tell you what, let's go to a break and then we'll come back. We'll kick up the coverage again. If you lose your cable, your satellite, your TV antenna, there's always the KAKE First Alert app for warnings while you travel, and also KAKE.com. You can watch live streaming our severe weather coverage on air, online, on your mobile, always on your side. All right, so we're back and we're continuing to track this on the radar. And let's do some querying once again. This is not a real strong signature, folks. You know there's going to be times they're going to be like, whoa, that's a hook, whoa, that's a fly. That's not it at this current time. Yes, we've got heavy rain, we got hail. You are under a tornado warning for Saline County, including Brookville, Smolin, Mentor, all the way to Salina, up 140. And let's go back over to the velocity data. It's just not really presenting itself. If there was something there, I doubt there's anything there now. Let's go back over the past 30 minutes. Here we are rolling in motion. Yes, there is some circulation between Brookville and Bavaria along 140 here, but as we look at that same circulation, so let's say, okay, now we'll switch over and look at the Topeka radar. Luckily, we're in a spot where both the Topeka radar and the Wichita radar are kind of at similar distances. You can make out there's one area of rotation there. Let's see if how persistent that is over the past 30 minutes. That's kind of gate to gate, but that's a couple of pixels, not real strong, but go ahead and exercise those tornado precautions, because it's a rotational signature, yes, but is it a real strong signature? Not at all. And let's go back over and take a look at the correlation coefficient. Basically, this is debris detection mode of the Doppler radar. This is where that dual polarization comes in. Anytime you see a drop off over an area with a lot of rain, it means that what it's pinging off on has a lot of different shapes and sizes. What do you got, Cameron?
Kyle is in Salina right now, wagon wheel looking west. I have a shot. How would I switch that for you? Okay.
Kyle Saldana?
Yes.
Okay. So is he, where have you got him punched up?
On the Chase computer.
Okay. Is he on Chase 1 or Chase 2?
He's on Chase 2.
He's up on
this one, right?
Okay. You need either put him over there on Chase 1. This one is control. So this is 2. That's 1. Okay, get that one up. Okay.
Let me pull them up.
Looks like we're going to have video coming up here on Chase 1 shortly, Mr. Scheck. So when that comes up, you can switch over to it. And we're still watching a very electrical thunderstorm from Salina. This is the roof of KSAL. God, talk about the lightning intensity on this one. Okay, so let's go over to Chase 1. John, if you can give me that. That is Kyle. And what's Kyle's position?
He said streams up in Salina, 135 and wagon wheel looking west.
Okay, and let's go ahead and add your mic to the mix here. You're turned on, I'm assuming?
Yeah, I'm on.
Okay, so we'll see if we can get Kyle in here, and we're going to take a look from his vantage point. So what does he say he's seeing from his vantage point right now? I know it's looking pretty dark, but we're seeing the electrical activity from his
He mainly just said the stream's up at the moment. I'm going to ask him what he's seeing.
Okay, all right. So let me go back over to the radar. So let's go back to radar for a second. Here you go. Thank you, John. As we look at this over the past 30 minutes, if there's a tornado in the storm, it's going to be rain wrapped. And the problem is you're just going to have a lot of trouble seeing it. So as it approaches Salina, you're going to get into all this heavy rain, and that's going to shield you from seeing the circulation. So the National Weather Service has issued that tornado warning. That's the red box, and it does extend from Ellsworth County into Saline County. The potential tornado is going to be north of Brookville, heading over towards Bavaria, and eventually making a beeline right at Salina. So still take those tornado precautions. Looks like they just updated the tornado warning. They took Ellsworth out of it, so it's now all Saline County at this point. Let me go back over to the live shot from downtown Salina as that storm continues to approach.
You're seeing some scud, some low-hanging cloud fragments, but the base of the storm is still very tall, so that gives you an idea that we're not quite seeing a visible tornado. Oh, there's something interesting in the center there.
All right. So as far as Kyle told us anything
Haven't heard
from
anything
his point of view? All right.
I asked him what he's seen.
So we'll continue to keep an eye on Kyle's stream, and also we're looking live at the downtown stream from KSAL at this point. All right. And so what was Kyle's latest position that you had on him?
He is 135 wagon wheel looking west in Salina.
And looking to the west, so he's pretty good position. This is a heck of a storm rolling through here, so batten down the hatches definitely. Let's go back over the radar, get the latest update, and let me switch over to the Topeka site so we can get the vantage point from there. So we'll switch over to the radar. Let's go to Topeka and then base velocity. Not really good strong circulation on this one too. Here we go. Let's roll it forward in time. Right approaching Riviera. If there's a tornado in the storm, that's its location, and it's moving slightly north of due east. So this will take it by the airport, over K-State Salina, through downtown Salina. So go ahead and practice those tornado precautions again, and I'll go back over and look at the ROHV, or the debris detection mode of the radar. See if we got anything kicking up. Yeah, go ahead, Kyle.
East at 25 now, so it's actually slowed down some.
So it's slowing down, and so we'll put that in motion for you. And not really, okay. No, I'm not seeing this. I got to admit, at the current time, I'm really having, the probability of a tornado is on the lower end, as far as I'm concerned.
I think the rotation might be cycling. If you look
Yeah,
at the
okay.
reflectivity.
We'll see if this spins back up. It did have a hook earlier. I mean, let's go back in time. And right there, yes, had a hook.
Impressive hook.
Don't really see the hook now. We'll see if it's redeveloping. If it's going to recycle, it'll be down here south of 140. This is what Cameron's talking about, that if it, we're in an environment now that we're at night, and this is something we talked about earlier today, is that once we got past sunset, the atmosphere was going to be more conducive to adding spin to storms. But the question was, were there going to be any storms across south central Kansas to take advantage of that spin? As far as greater Wichita, the answer is no. The storms never broke through the cap, and that wasn't going to be a problem. But
it looks like we're
this is still
trying
going
to get a lowering if we look at the Salina camera.
Okay, let me go back over to the Salina camera.
Look
I'll
off
put
to the
that
right.
up. And yeah, this thing, it's slowed down only 20 miles per hour now. So we're continuing to track that as it moves through. Any other information from Kyle as far as from his vantage point for what he's seeing? So he's at I-135 and Wagon Wheel and looking west. And it's kind of dark, but I tell you what, John, can we go back over to Kyle's live shot? We'll take his stream. He's on Chase 1. Say again?
Yeah,
Okay.
You can see some low-hanging
All right.
stuff.
Thank you, John. So you got to wait for the lightning to illuminate it, but you can see the cloud base there on Kyle's shot. This is the only problem. This is the bad thing about tornadoes at night, is that they're going to be rain wrapped, and also just you got to use lightning. Lightning is your friend in this case, because we're trying to detect whether or not we actually have the tornado in progress at the time. And with the radar data is really iffy at this point.
Yeah,
Tell you what,
it's
it's
very
iffy enough.
borderline.
Let's go ahead. Let's go to a break. Come back. Let's hit some sports, and we'll keep you updated on this. It's storm season, so get your Weather Alert Radio sent right to your door. Visit kake.com/weather radio to buy yours today and watch my tutorial on how to tune your life-saving radio. Stay safe, stay alert with your new Weather Alert Radio. All right, let's go to our KAKE First Alert Storm Chaser, Kyle Saldana. Saldina, I'm going to get your name right, Kyle. Where are you right now in Saline County? What's going on in your stream?
Coming to you soon. We're 30.
Kyle, you with me?
Yep, sorry, breaking up there just a little bit. So I'm sitting just west of 135 on Waterwell Road here, just south of Salina. We have had a slight lowering persist for 3 to 4 minutes, a little bit west of town near Brookville. We do have a little bit of continued upward motion, but nothing persistent at this point.
All right. Now, Kyle, earlier, the Weather Service, I think, warned on the fact that there was another report with a lot of rain, and they were concerned that there may have been something rain-wrapped there. From your vantage point, have you seen anything like that?
I haven't seen anything rain-wrapped, Jay. I certainly couldn't rule that out at this point, but we're looking at the leading edge here with some upward motion. That seems to be the area of interest at this point.
All right, so I know you're using the lightning. That we're looking at your live feed now, and I know it's dark, but is there enough lightning where you're able to illuminate the cloud bases and see what's going on?
Yeah, there's a fair amount of lightning, probably every 5 seconds or so, we get a pretty good view. Really staying pretty consistent up here to keep an eye on it.
All right. John, is it possible if you give me a double box with this? Let's put the radar up side by side with that shot if we can. Okay, it looks like it's frozen a little bit. You said, Kyle, are you in kind of a bad service area right now?
Yeah, there's just so many people out here trying to use cell at the moment. It's kind of hit and miss.
Okay, well, I'll tell you what. I'll just keep the voice call with you going, even though your stream's kind of intermittent. And so Kyle is down here, so he's really positioned well to look into the thunderstorm. And again, the red box, that's the tornado warning until 11 o'clock tonight. When we switch back over to the velocity mode, and we'll interrogate once again and take a look from the Wichita perspective as far as which way the wind's blowing in the storm. And we'll put it in motion for you over the past half hour. And admittedly, I'm not seeing anything currently that's concerning me. And Kyle, that's kind of backing up what you're seeing from your vantage point?
Yeah, I would agree with that, Jay. We do have, a couple lowerings and a couple fingers here once in a while, but we don't have anything that's persisting or really making an effort to reach the ground at this point.
Okay, I tell you what, let's hang with you for a little bit longer until we get this core crossing more of I-135. Now, are you comfortable with where you are? You need to pack pedal to the south a little bit. How you doing?
Yeah, I think we're probably here before too long going to look at a south option off of 135 and then maybe bump back east. Might look maybe going a little towards Gypsum. Just to stay out in front of this so we can keep a better vantage point on it.
All right. So right now, are you staying dry right now, or are you starting to get rain?
No, we are dry currently.
Okay. All right. And earlier tonight, did you pick up any large hail, or did you pretty much stay out of the cores?
I was fortunate to stay out of the core for the most part. I picked up about dime-sized hail as I was coming through Brookville about an hour and a half ago.
All right, so that's Kyle that we're talking to. So I'm going to go ahead and put the live Salina camera back up. So the storm is starting to move into Salina proper, and we're still got, it's very electrical still, Cam, but it's not as electrical as it was.
No, a lot of times before a storm tries to produce a tornado, you get excessive cloud ground lightning, and we saw that briefly, and now it is nowhere near as electrical. Like Kyle was saying, you can see some scud fingers or cloud fragments being sucked up into the updraft, but nothing really that stands out as a lowering or a wall cloud or a tornado, which is good news. But there are still some areas of interest we are watching. This tornado warning is ongoing until 11 p.m. So we still got some time, about 30 minutes on this. The storm's going east at about 20 to 30. So it looks like the worst of it is going to miss Salina in terms of the rotation, but Bavaria, Salina, that's a hail threat right there. Smolin, Assaria, that's kind of where we're more concerned about the rotation.
That's true, and I got to admit, this is a lot of rain and it's some hail, but I'm going to go back into the velocity data, and I got to admit, if this trend continues where we're really just not seeing a lot of rotation, we'll get you back into the regular programming here pretty soon, because sure, I mean, that's just, let me go over to Topeka. That's radar data that's not telling me anything. And so let's go switch over to the Topeka site, see what we got there. Again, since you're close to about equidistant from Topeka to Wichita, you can use both radars and get about as high in the storm. And earlier, that little area of circulation, it's just not there. If anything, it's going to recycle, but this is really iffy around Smolin. Kyle, are you on the move again?
Yep, I'm going to move just a little south and head east just a little bit, Jay, maybe towards Mentor, maybe towards Gypsum as well if I need to. But at this point, it almost looks like it's taking more of a outflow-dominant physicality or appearance to it. Not seeing as much of a defined wall cloud or any specific area with the lowering. Definitely looks like a shelf is developing more at this point.
Okay, and what Kyle's talking about is we're transitioning out of really a tornado potential to more of just an ongoing wind potential with the potential for strong wind gusts. So I'm assuming you're heading south on I-135 right now, Kyle?
Yeah, currently south on 135. I'm getting off here at exit 86, which will put me on 104. So hopefully we can run south and a little bit east if we need to stay out in front of it.
Okay, so you're going to head on 104 and make the run over to Gypsum?
Yep, yeah, I think that'll be the plan at this point.
All right, so here we got the big hail core starting to roll into Salina proper. Let me turn off the toolbar here.
You can see it on the Salina camera there.
Okay, well, I get the toolbar to turn off. It doesn't want to turn off for some reason. Okay, let me just go over to the camera view.
If you look up by the light, you can see the hail.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're starting to get some. Yeah, if you look at the downtown, you look at the lights downtown, it looks like you got the hail falling there now.
It's being warned for golf ball size hail.
We'll see if golf balls wind up. But Salina, you're obviously seeing the hail and the heaviest rain now. And this will continue. We went through. Okay, let me put, there we go. We'll touch that off now. There we go. And this will continue, the tornado warning, until the top of the hour. But admittedly, yeah, we got a big hail producing storm.
Wall cloud due west. And I mean, we're looking.
You are looking almost due west of what? Of downtown Salina, the airport in Salina?
It doesn't specify.
It doesn't specify. Well, if anything, I mean, because we're looking just south of west. So if you want to pan the camera a little to the right, that would be due west. So just one click at a time. So that's northwest. And then now you're looking due west. Okay. And again, we're the roof of KSAL right on Santa Fe Avenue.
There were a couple times where it looked like it was trying to lower. I wouldn't necessarily call it quite a wall cloud yet, but.
So let's go back over and compare that to the radar. And you can see where the bulk of the storm is rolling in now, and even the hail core is still crossing I-135. So there's still the potential to get even some larger hailstones than what's fallen now from this storm. Kind of reposition this.
I mean, this storm started off dropping pretty large hail as is, and now it's a powerhouse supercell. So seeing hail bigger than golf balls probably wouldn't be out of the question. It's going to be driven by 60 to 70 mile per hour winds.
So Kyle, are you solo or do you have a spotter in the car with you?
Yeah, I'm still here, Jay. Sorry, it's coverage out here is not ideal.
No. It's all good. Are you driving solo or have you got a spotter with you?
Yeah, unfortunately, I'm solo today.
That's okay. Since you're heading southbound, it's not like you're looking behind you and seeing what's going on there.
Yeah. Are you guys seeing anything on the Salina camera or?
The only thing we got on the Salina camera, quite frankly, Kyle, is we probably have hail and we got a lot of lightning going on here, but the lightning intensity and frequency is not as high as it was when it was, earlier, when we were really concerned about it.
It's starting to tick up again.
And, we'll see if we're starting to pulse. And it looks like we may be redeveloping a new hail core as this is approaching I-135.
And apparently there's storms behind it. I didn't even notice that until just now.
Well, just to give you guys an update, I'm now eastbound on K4 from 104. Okay. So I'm going to try and get out in front just enough that I can take a look behind and give you a little bit better idea of what's going on.
Okay, that sounds like a good idea. Let me kind of back the view out here just to show what's going on that we talked about with Cam, that there's other storm development back behind it. But admittedly, man, we've already worked the atmosphere over with a couple of the thunderstorms. So it'll be interesting to see just if what's in Ellsworth County and southern Lincoln County now can even take over anything. You're watching continuous coverage here on KAKE of a tornado warning in effect for Saline County until 11 o'clock. We have our KAKE First Alert Storm Tracker. Kyle is on the phone with us, who is in Saline County. I'm meteorologist Cameron Venable, and we're providing coverage now. I want to reiterate, this was a radar indication. It was kind of a brief radar indication, and the storm may be trying to cycle back up. And what I mean by try, let me kind of re-zoom into the area of concern here. Right there. If it's going to reform, this is going to be near the airport. So there's the airport, there's K-State Salina, then you start kind of getting into downtown as that crosses I-135. So it's a good idea to go ahead and maintain those tornado precautions. Let's go ahead and switch back over to the velocity mode of the radar. And as we look at the velocity data, it's still a circulating thunderstorm, but as far as strong, tight rotation, what we call gate-to-gate shear, not really there, but this is about to cross I-135. So once this circulation gets across I-135, it's going to move across the southern parts of Salina and then continuing eastward across Saline County. So that's the threat area that we're looking at. Is this oh my goodness? No, but it's an area of suspect circulation that we will continue to watch. Let's go back over and let me look at it from the Topeka radar, get a little different angle on this. So let's go to Topeka, let's look at the base velocity. So that would be the area of circulation again, very close to the airport, southern edge of the airport. It's going going to roll right close to the airport, K-State Salina, and then, you know, where I-135, before it makes that, you know, curve off to the northwest before it straightens up again, that's where it's going to make the move. And so go ahead and continue those tornado precautions at this point in time, just because if this tightens up, that's where a tornado would form if there's not one in progress. Camp, we got any kind of reports, any kind of ground truth at all what's going on with this storm?
There might have been a touchdown, but it's, I mean, this is wrapped in rain. It's a big old supercell thunderstorm. We have had no solid reports of a tornado, and I mean, even the wall cloud reports are hit or miss. I mean, we have a camera here in Salina, and I can't really see anything. Granted, it's becoming a lot more rainy and a lot more hail. And if you look at the hail core, it's just sitting back to the west and just kind of back building as it goes towards Salina. But visibility has really dropped off. I was trying to look around because the area rotation is going to be more due south of Salina now.
Yeah, and that's where I'm kind of been. That's more of a southwest look, and so now I'm kind of rotating the camera more towards the south-southwest at that point. So yeah, that's a north-south street there in the foreground.
But there's nothing. I
so
mean,
yeah, just the visibility is so poor that we can't really see much of what's going on. But I'm going to keep I'm going to keep the camera pointed kind of south-southwest at this point. And if we're going to see anything, you know, if we see any power flashes or anything off in the distance, it would be indicative to kind of what we're looking for to verify any kind of circulation. So we'll just leave the camera aimed in that direction here. So there you are. We're looking, remember that's north-south road. So we're looking not due south, but we're kind of looking south-southwest right now. And that continues to move on along. And the visibility is very poor at this point.
It's looking more like a high precipitation supercell now.
Yeah, I'm going to see if, I'm going to just try to reconnect with Kyle over here.
Yep, sorry, Jay, I'm back. Kind of dropping in and out there, moving.
No problem. I get it. And because you're in an area where we're not really getting the stream, but at least we got voice contact with you. Yeah, if this thing is going to, it looks like it's trying to wrap back up.
Yeah, so I'm sitting at K4 and Simpson Road. The lightning has definitely decreased a pretty significant amount, so I really don't have a good backlight to see any features on the storm. I can kind of make out maybe a hail core or something with the city lights from Salina, but at this point I don't see anything tornadic that's immediately jumping out at me.
Yeah, I mean, if it's trying to wrap back up here, so, you know, here's the airport. And there's where 140 comes into 135. That's Crawford Street. That is Schilling Road. And then there's 9th. And then here's Iron Avenue. So keep in mind, you know, that shot we have, basically got Santa Fe looking at, you know, Iron and 7th is where the cozy inn that you see in the camera image there. So the camera is now looking in this direction. So we're looking back in this direction. If there's anything there, you know, we would be seeing power flashes or some kind of indication of damage, and we're not at this point.
They trimmed the tornado warning a little bit. It's golf ball hail, radar indicated tornado. It's moving east at 35 now.
And Jay, I did.
Yeah, and Saline County is saying that they don't have any damage reports. So we're feeling pretty good about this right now.
Yeah,
if it's going to produce something, that is right over the town, though.
Exactly. You have a bunch of chasers out there. It's right over town. If it did have something on the ground.
Yeah, if it already had something, we would know about it. But if it's going to produce something, it's right now over 135. So let's go ahead and stay hunkered down and play it safe in the shelters at this point. Let's go back over and look at the velocity data here. So that's the area of circulation crossing 135. So once this continues to move on away from the city of Salina, we'll continue to get a better look at it. We'll see if it spins back down again. But while it's, there you go, just got the latest sweep of radar data. And this is starting to move more away from town. So this is good news. We look at it from the Topeka side here. So we'll go over to Topeka, we'll look at the base velocity. And there's again, it's a broad area circulation, but that's if something's going to wrap up, and the key word is if, it's in that location right there. So we kind of zoom in tighter and show you some cross streets as far as what's going on. There's Belmont Boulevard, East Magnolia Road, and I-135. So right there, the southern edge, you know, it's starting to continue to move away as far as, you know, downtown proper. that's not going to be the spot. So if you want to swing the camera more due south, we can kind of take a closer look at what's going on there.
You're really starting to see the larger hail on this
Yep.
Salina camera.
Yeah, if you just rotate it to the left just a little bit, I think, you know, then yeah, because now we're looking basically due south. If there was anything going on, we would see it at this point. So once this gets through Salina, I'm going to be pretty comfortable ending the coverage at that point, because there's your hail core. Got to admit, it's not really showing much hook at all now. Let's go back over and look at it from the velocity point of view, from Wichita's radar. That's okay. We'll put that in motion here over the past 30 minutes. There was your potential area circulation. Is it a rotating thunderstorm? Yes. Is it tightly rotating? Not at this point. Let's go over and look at the debris detection mode. Remember, we only got like maybe, the key word was maybe a little brief hit when it was north of Brookville for about like one volume scan. So now we'll go back in, we'll put that in motion. And, you know, not really, this is a noisy product anyway, unless it's covered with a lot of rain. So that's not necessarily a tell that we're looking at either. I'm feeling better and better about what's going on.
Salina, a wall cloud and a funnel cloud. Southwest.
Yeah, but that could be scud. That could be
exactly.
That could
it's
be
so
shelfie.
hard to discern. And
Kyle, have you been able to kind of get in a position and turn back around and look to the northwest and look at what's heading towards you?
Yeah, Jay, I'm sitting here probably looks like 6 miles directly west of Gypsum on K4, and I haven't seen any features to back that up at this point. Again, the lightning has really decreased a pretty significant amount. We're not getting near the amount of CG we had earlier. So it is a little bit difficult to make anything out, but on the horizon there's no lowerings that look tornadic in nature. Certainly, I would agree with both of you that it's moved more towards a hail core and HP type situation.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, let's get this hail core off Salina, and then we'll terminate the coverage at that point, because yeah, I'm feeling increasingly confident that sure, we got a severe thunderstorm capable of, you know, putting down some large hail, but in terms of a tornado threat, that just looks like it hasn't materialized. There might have been something north of Brookville that was very brief, but that's key as might. We didn't really been able to confirm anything with that either. So we'll continue to watch this for the next just couple of minutes, and then we'll get you back over to, I tell you what, let me go over to the Pico radar. We'll look at that vantage point here and roll it forward in motion. And okay, there you go. So there it is. That's a weak area circulation. You're not seeing anything on the Salina camera. Kyle, you're not seeing anything of note. And so we'll continue to watch that. There was that one funnel report, again, near Brookville, that honestly we didn't have a lot of confidence. We didn't have a lot of confidence in when it came out.
There was another one 3 northeast of Smolin.
But yeah, we don't have a lot of confidence in when that came out. So it's going to be very interesting to see how that pans out. And admittedly, I'm not okay. We just got heavy rain at this point. Let's go back over to the downtown camera. Got quite the storm, and then that's just it. It's just quite the storm. Basically, it's a severe thunderstorm at this point.
High precipitation supercell.
Yep. Okay. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling pretty good about terminating the coverage.
Yeah, it's not
so
cycling.
I know it's not over. I know technically the warning is in effect for another 10 minutes, but we've had absolutely nothing that can confirm any kind of a tornado going on. Kyle, from your position, you're not seeing anything of concern. We're not seeing any tight circulation right now over Salina. We're just seeing large hail and the potential for wind gusts that are going to be very strong. So one last look at some of the velocity data here.
Kyle has a good shot of just like at least being able to see things. A lot more so than our Salina camera that's just socked in with hail. Yeah,
I mean, the Salina camera, it's just, we got the reduced visibility there. So let's go back over and look at the Topeka radar from that vantage point again. Make sure we don't see anything that we're missing here. And no, even that little area circulation has moved well east of Salina now. And so no. All right. I'm meteorologist Jay Prater for Cameron. Appreciate your help tonight. Kyle, thanks for joining us. And this was Kyle's first chase with us at KAKE, so you too, welcome to the team. We'll continue to track this severe weather for you, and we'll keep you updated as necessary tonight here on KAKE.
For up-to-the-minute news and weather, stay connected to KAKE News with Facebook, Twitter, and KAKE.com. KAKE News, on your side.